Hi there, it's Keith again here for his final major project, Blackburn College. Today I have a complete shift from my normal pigment making. I've been considering and looking at how well things, some of the paints that I've been producing bind. I've had a bit of a rethink in terms of the direction I want to go. I was originally considering panels, which was still sort of valid. But I'm now looking at possible installation using some modern day items. I'll explain more about the reason behind it. This is videos more about a sort of practical experiment I need to do. What I'm concerned about, and I've had a little test, is that the paint that I've been producing didn't adhere to plastic fantastically well. It did, but it was easily knocked off. So what I want to try and do is actually try and experiment with two binders today, pre-coats if you like. Well, they are pre-coats as an experiment to see what see if I can actually get the paint to stay on the objects more permanently. So the two different brands that I'm using, because they are commercially built ones. One is Zinsea. I've used some of the products before and they're very good. That is an oil cum shellac based primer specifically designed for plastics. The other is a bit more of an experiment. This is actually in the tub here. I don't know if I can actually lift that up. I don't want to pour it everywhere. It's pre-grit. It's actually used as a pre-coat when you're plastering. It's, from my research, as far as I can tell, it's effectively a PVA type substance, but then it's got fine sand or bits of grit in it, and I'm hoping it's that that might achieve a greater degree of adherence of the paints that I've been making with my pigments. So what I'm going to try and do today is basically coat in pre-grit a plastic bottle, milk bottle, very common because I'm looking at sort of waste products, but I'm also looking at products that do get chucked away regularly, but sort of give them some value. You know, your essential remote control. This is an old one, obviously. I'm not going to use my current one. We're going to have a go at that. I'll do that using the Zinsea, and the larger milk bottle I'm going to actually prime using directly some of this pre-grit and see if that works, because it's a heck of a lot cheaper. What I quite liked when I just did a test piece on thing is that you do get this gritty, obviously, appearance, starts happening on the on whatever you're painting with it, which might be quite nice in terms of the effect that I want to achieve in my project, because I'm to some degree looking at, I was very much interested in the archaeology. I've got obviously my sort of research and my sort of background, and the sort of archaeological layers when you dig something up. It's all I've been on quite a few archaeological digs. This is actually going on quite well. Now it's a case of whether it'll stay there. Obviously can't do the bottom. I hope you can sort of see that a little bit more clearly there. I should have sorted out the camera look a little bit better. I haven't got my assistant today, John, so I'll blame it on him. Yeah, so I'm interested in the sort of layers that you get in archaeology. That sort of, as you go, what's called, when you're excavating down the layers, you're going back in history. And one of the things that I've been playing around with, and I quite appeals to me, is, what would our archaeological layer, if you like, our contemporary layer of archaeology, the debris that we leave behind, the landfill, what's left on demolition sites, what just ends up in the ground, would look like to a future if you like, civilization. You know, we seem to think we're very permanent, but you know, we're incredibly recent in terms of our development. Okay, I'll just move the big tub out of the way. I'm hoping you can see that. Just turn that light on as well, see if it gives you a little bit more. Hopefully you can see there's grit in there, and I'm hoping that that pre-grit will bind to the plastic and then allow me to do coats of using the paints that I've been developing, using the pigments that I've been finding. So I'll I should really just do a little bit of the, to show the comparison with the Zinser. Just wash my hands. As I said, this is the Zinser. I'll do some individual photographs under OneNote. I think this is I've come across it in the past where people have been, they use it when they've been painting UPVC windows, and I've had a little test using some of this. In fact, I've got an example here. I use it on this plastic container here, and this is what gave me some idea of, you know, taking it further. I didn't do a recording of the actual painting of that, which I should have done, but you can see that's adhered quite well using it. Just one problem is it's not cheap at all, and for the amount of just was walking off the road, obviously. So, and for the potential, if I do go forward, I'd want to be doing an installation. That's my sort of idea I'm playing with quite a lot of discarded modern objects, and I'm a bit worried about how far, you know, this paint will go. It's a fairly runny, as you can see, consistency. I should have probably given it a proper really good mix, but it is relatively runny, this. So I'm just going to coat, hopefully you can see there, one side of my old remote control. I'm going to try to get as much, because you obviously can only do one side at a time. But I do want to try and make sure I've got a full one side, if you like. It's incredibly difficult to clean up this stuff as well. It doesn't clean up with ordinary white spirit, as you'd perhaps expect. You've got to actually use, well, I've got to try it yet. I'm going to try it with this brush, because I ruined a previous brush on the last project, because I couldn't actually, it took me, well, I got the majority of this out afterwards. So there we go. I think you can see that reasonably in the video. So that's basically an undercoat, which hopefully will then allow me to start adding, as I did in that previous example, that was some of the paint that would be making from pigment, that I'll be able to coat that and it will stay on. Okay, so I think that's enough for really the end of this video. I'll try to do another one or some photographs follow up of this experiment, or at least photographs showing the results and the painting, or how well it has adhered. Thank you.